Om Sadashivasamārambhāṃ Shankarācārya Madhyamāṃ Asmadācārya Paryantāṃ Vande Guru Paramparāṃ Yada Vidyavilasena Bhuta Bhautika Srishtayah Tannaumi Paramatmanam Satchidananda Vigraham. So we completed Upamana Anumana pramana. Now we have to enter Upamana. Before that we can quickly look at what we saw last time. A quick recap, because it was an interesting Anumanam we did. How we can establish the Jagan Mithyaatvam using Anumana. So that was the main thing which we looked at last time. In that, we gave an Anumana saying that anything which is other than Brahman is Nitya. The reason being Brahma Bhinnatvat, that it is not Brahman, that it is different from Brahman itself is the reason. And the Udaharanam we gave was, the example for that is that like the silver seen on shell. So how this Anumana is correct? That also we argued. There were some arguments on that. Purvapaksha, Siddhanta and all were there. Then there was another interesting Anumana also we used in this regard, saying that anything which is made up of parts is Nitya. Okay? Because the whole does not exist in the parts. Like when the example is asked for, like any other thing which is made up of parts. Okay? Like this, based on the Amsha and Amshi. Also, there was a Anumana done. The interesting thing about that Anumana was that when you apply the linga, right, the hetu, in the examples, it is correct, because for example, if you say the cloth is Nitya, because the cloth does not exist in this yarn, in the yarn which is of that cloth. Correct? Wherever you see the cloth, there are yarns are there. So we say the cloth does not exist on these yarns. Why? Because it is a cloth. Because it is made up of yarns. Correct? It is something which is having parts. And what is the example? Like any other cloth we say. But when you say like any other cloth, for all other cloths, we can very well say that they do not exist in this yarn. Correct? Because in this yarn, etat tantu, when we take, in this yarn, other clothes are all not there. Correct? Our cloth, any other cloth if you take, they are obviously not there in this yarn, whatever yarn we are talking about. And then we say similarly, this cloth also is not there in this yarn. But when we say that, what happens is, it becomes Nitya, correct? Because the definition of Nitya also we gave an interesting definition, where we said that the thing which is not there in its own ashraya, correct? Swashrayattvena abhimata yavan nishta atyanta abhava pratyogitvam, like that Mithyaatvam was defined. So the meaning of that is, whatever thing which you see, okay, if you are not able to see that, in the same ashraya, say, for all terms, correct? So you can see later on you can go and say that that particular thing never existed here. So that way, if you see, that is what is Mithyatvam we say. So I see silver on the shell, and later on I say the silver never existed on that shell, correct, in all 3 periods of time. So whichever ashraya or locus where something appeared, on that locus itself I am able to establish the non-existence of the same thing. Then whichever thing which appears to you, that thing becomes mithya. So that's how mithyatvam is established. So same thing happens in this anumana. You see a cloth. Then what is the locus of that cloth? We say cloth is there in the yarn. But then we also establish that there is no cloth in the yarn really, because in your understanding of a yarn, there is no cloth. And if you take out all the yarns, also there is no cloth. In the cloth, then where is the cloth? Means it is only a name and form, correct? It is something put together. It has a name, form, even function. But it is still mithya because it doesn't have any existence of its own. Because the very existence of the cloth is nothing but the existence of the yarn. So like this we were able to do couple of anumana. Once we did the anumana also, one more question. This was the important thing we saw last week. Is that the Purvachi says, even though if we let us say for assumption, a part is mithya. Because the part's very existence is nothing but the existence of clay. Part is nothing but a name and form for clay. Clay alone really exists. The part is only a name and form, it doesn't really count. So, even though you may say that part is mithya, but I see it in pratyaksha as sangataha. The part exists, like that only I see. So, your anumana, whatever anumana you may make, correct, based on this amsha and amshi, is negated by pratyaksha, because I see the cloth as cloth exists. I see the pot as pot exists. So, how can you say that it is mithya? Like this? The question is raised. This is a typical Dvaiti question also. Any Dvaitin also will say that, even though we say that not only this anumana, even if we quote a Shruti and say that this is all mithya, the Dvaiti will say no, pratyaksha virodha, even Shruti cannot be there. Like this they can argue. So here 2 types of answers are given. That's what interestingly you have to understand. One answer is that the sangata, when you say existent part, in fact, even this existent part itself is a mistake. It's a mistake of the language, because their existence is the noun, part is really the adjective, because partness can come and go. Existence is always there in every cognition. So we have to actually say potty existence or clayey existence, like that. But instead we say existent part, existent clay, existent cloth, like that. But even giving allowance for the language, the existence there belongs to Brahman. So it is not the part's existence. So adhisthana brahma sattavaha eva tatra vishayataya ghatadeha satyatva asiddhehe. So we say for ghata etc. satyatvam is not there. Only Brahman alone is satyam. And the Brahman's satta alone is catalyst. So the existence belongs to Brahman. We wrongly associate it with the pot. Like this, one answer is given. So when we give that answer, immediately the question is what? How can Brahman, which doesn't have any color, be the Vishaya for your Pratyaksha? Because here, through Pratyaksha, this existence, this what is existence means we saying that existence is from Brahman. So how can it become a Pratyaksha Vishaya? Because according to the Nayayika, only that which has a color can be seen by your eyes. Then a different answer was given, that there is no rule that only that which has color can be cognized with your eyes. In fact, color itself is cognized. According to the Nayayika's own theory, color cannot, guna cannot have guna. So color itself cannot have color. But we can see the color. That was one argument. But even better argument is given there, saying that time also is cognized. Whenever you cognize anything, it is cognized right now, correct? So the space-time also is always part of any cognition, and time doesn't have any color. So there is no rule that color has to be there. So, and also the Nayayika's rule is only for applicable for Dravya, because they say that Rupi Dravyam has to be there. We say Brahman is not even a Dravya. According to you, Dravya means it has to have Gunashrayatvam, and it has to be a Samavai Karanam and all that. So Gunashraya means that which is the locus of quality. But Brahman is Nirgunam for us. So Brahman cannot be even considered as a Dravya. So your rule is for only that if we say that those Dravya which have color can only be seen by eyes. In another way also we can say that Brahman itself is not a Dravyam, so your rule does not apply here, because Brahman is Nirguna. Therefore, no problem. And if Brahman is considered to be a Dravya, we say like Kala, Brahman's existence also can be seen, okay, by any Pratyaksha. In fact, time and space are cognized even by, for example, you put something on your tongue and taste. It is tasting right now, correct? And wherever you are. So, even if you don't use your eyes, if you use any sense organ, through any sense organ we can cognize the now, the current time, and wherever you are, correct, that space, etc. is always cognized along with any Vishaya, any object. So, like that, Brahman's Satta also is cognized, because without something existing, you cannot anyway see it, correct? So, like this, one answer is given. So, if you say Sangata, in that the Sattvam belongs to Brahman, so there is no Badha, there is no problem. The Gata is still a Nitya only. Or the other answer was given, we can take three types of Sattva, Trividham Sattvam. So the Parampara Sattvam is for Brahman alone. Brahman is really, it is the only thing which is real, in the sense of that which never changes in any period of time. Okay, Yadrupam Nishchitam Tadrupam Tanna Vyabhijarati. Like that, Bhashikara says in Vedanta Paribhasha. So, in whichever form something is ascertained, that form never goes away for that, but it is always in that form only. Such a thing alone can be Satyam. Satyam means it never changes, it is changeless, and it cannot be destroyed also, it is Avinashi. So something which never changes. something which can never be destroyed, something which is beyond space and time, we have to say, which is the very cause of space-time. That alone is Satyam. Okay? So, this is the definition of Satyam, and such a Satyam, only Brahman alone is the Paramarthika Satyam. Then the transactional reality, the world, is called Vyavaharika Satyam. This is what we have whenever you see something in this world. All those things are Vyavaharikam, because they are available for you in this waking world to do your transactions. Then there are Pratibhasikam also, those which are subjective, totally subjective, subjective appearances like seeing a snake on the road or silver on the shelf, all those things. So three types of Satyam we can take, and for this, what is the pramana, if you ask? Again we can say that there is pramana in Upanishad for this, although here the author does not explicitly give that, but we can see that, for example, in Bredaranyaka, Satyasya Satyam, like that, there is a statement. Then, so when we say obviously the Satyam of Satya means one of the Satya there has to be Vyavaharika Satyam, correct? Similarly in Taitriyam, in the Pravesha Shruti is there, okay? Tat srishtva tadeva nutpravishate tadam pravishya tat satyaccha bhavate niruddhancha niruddhancha nilayanancha nilayanancha vijnanancha vijnanancha satyamcha nrutancha satyamabhavate, like this. Satyamcha anrutancha satyamabhavate. The Satyam became Satyam and Anrutam, like that it says. So in this case, the second Satyam is what? That is Vyavaharika Satyam. And Anrutam means here we have to take it as all these Pratibhasikam. Because those which are negated in the Vyavaharika itself are all Pratibhasika, like subjective appearances, they are Anrutam. And then Satyam, the Anrutam Satyam Abhavate, like that it is there. The other Satyam is obviously the Satyam became, means that is the Prakrita Satyam. Whatever is being talked about as Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, that's how the whole Anandavalli starts. So the whole subject matter under discussion is Brahman, which is Satyam. But Brahma Satyam again became Satyam and Anrutam, like that when the Srishti Prakriya is talked about it is said. So from this we can say that there are three orders of reality. So there is a Paramarthika Satyam, Vyavaharika Satyam, Pratibhasika Satyam. And here, when we say Ghatastham, okay, when we say there is this Ghata's existence, there the sun is only Vyavaharika Satyam, we say. It's Vyavaharika Satyam. So the Vishaya of that Pratyaksha is Vyavaharika Satyam. It is not Paramarthika Satyam. Okay? And when we do Nisheda, negation, that Ghata is Mithya, that negation is done with reference to the Paramarthika Satyam, which is there only in Brahman. Understand that? So the negation is not with reference to the Vyavaharika Satyam. The Vyavaharika Satyam is not opposed to this Mithyatvam. So like this also we can answer. So there is no Virodha. So like this, but when you take this Paksha that there are three orders of reality, in our Mithyatva Lakshana also, the definition we gave for Mithyatvam, we have to add Paramarthikatva Avachinna Pratiyogita Sattvam, like that. Because originally we said Yavam Nishta Atyanta Abhava Pratiyogitvam, simply Atyanta Abhava Pratiyogitvam was there. Yavanishta Atyanta Abhava Paramarthikatva Avachinna Pratyogitvam, like that we have to add. The Paramarthikatva Avachinna we have to add because the reference there, the Pratyogitvam is only with reference to the Paramarthikatva Satyam. Okay, so like that we have to add. So with this Anumana Paricheda we finished last time. Anumana pramana is useful for establishing the world as Mithya. Now we have to see the Upamana pramana. Now Upamana Atha Upamanam Nirupyate. So we will establish what is Upamanam. So here they say Tatra Sadrishya Pramakaranam Upamanam. So here the Upamana is the one which gives us the knowledge of similarity, you can say. Correct? Sadrishyam means comparison or similarity. Now here there is a difference between how this Upamana is defined by the Nayayikas and how it is understood by the Mimamsakas. Okay, so we as Vedantins, we follow the Bhakta Nayaha, we say, we follow the Bhakta Mimamsaka in most of the things. But of course with them also we do not accept everything because Mimamsaka is a karmata. So they say that karma alone will give you moksha. That part we will not accept. But other things in Vyavahara Bhakta Nayaha, like that there is a saying. So in most other things we follow the Mimamsaka because they are already established. They are the ones who originally established the Veda as a pramana, in fact. Understand? So even if we look at historically, Adi Shankara, when Adi Shankara came, already the Mimamsaka, they had argued against the Buddhist and Jaina and other Nastikavadis. So those who do not accept the Veda as a pramana are called Nastika. So all the Nastika people, they have debated the Purva Mimamsaka, and Kumara Bhatta was a great Mimamsaka. His Shloka Nastika is there. It's a very interesting text where the Pramanyam of the Veda is established, and lot of discussion is there how we cannot consider even the Vakya of a Buddha as a pramana because it is coming from the intellect of one person. So pramanam, even the Veda pramanam, we accept Veda as a pramana because it is Apaurishaya. All these things, in fact, later we will see when we go into the Shabda pramana also we will be going very soon. But the idea here is the Mimamsakas have already argued with all the Nastika and even with the Nayayika, the old Nayayikas, against them also they have argued and established many things. So we simply follow all those things wherever it is in keeping with the Veda, of course, which is not against the Shruti, and wherever it is in keeping with our own Siddhanta, which is found in Vedanta, so we will take that. So you can see here, in the case of Upamanam, the Nayayika has a different understanding or explanation. The Mimamsakas give a different explanation. In fact, we follow the Mimamsaka. What the Nayayika says is, he says Upamiti Karanam Upamanam. Like that they define. If you take Nayayika, and they say, and Upamiti itself is what? They say Samjna Samji Sambandha Jnanam Upamiti. So that means the Samjna Samji means what? Shabda and Artha, basically. The word and its meaning, correct? So there is a word and its meaning is there, some object. the sambandha between them you may not always know. So for example, I say Gavaya. So Gavaya is a word, it's a Sanskrit word. I can say that Gavaya. No, you know Gavaya word is there. But what is the meaning of Gavaya? I have no idea, correct? So the word has to have a meaning, and the word and meaning have a sambandha. That sambandha may not be always clear. Of course, when you go and see a Gavaya for yourself, correct? And somebody says this is Gavaya, then you understand the connection between the word and its meaning, the object, whatever object it is. But similarity also can aid in that. How? So for this, the Nayayika says, so the actual Upamana according to them is this Upamiti Karanam, correct? Tat Karanam Sadrisha Jnanam. So they say the Sadrisha Jnana helps you to understand the connection between the word and its meaning. How? So there is Gavaya word is there, some person is there in the city. The city dweller does not know what is this animal called Gavaya. The Gavaya is an animal, it is a wild animal. The city dweller only knows cow. And he is now going to the forest. It is informed to him that in the forest there is an animal called Gavaya, which is similar to the cow, which you have seen in the city. Clear? So now he has this similarity knowledge, that Gavaya is similar to a cow. So that knowledge is there, Sadrisha Jnanam. When he goes to the forest and sees an animal which is similar to a cow, but it is not a cow, that much he knows, correct? Then that similarity knowledge which was given to him by somebody already, that comes into the picture. Then you understand, yes, this is Gavaya. Okay. So this is how the Nayayika is defining Upamana. Understand this. This is their understanding of Upamanam. So the Sadrisha Jnanam is the one, it is Upamanam. The Sadrisha Jnanam is the Karanam for Upamiti. Upamiti in this case is this is Gavaya, which is similar to my cow, or which is similar to cow in general, correct? So the cow similarity of the Gavaya, that Upamana Jnanam you already have. Using that Upamana Jnanam, now you have this Upamiti, that this Gavaya is similar to a cow, so this Gavaya, the word Gavaya, for that this is the meaning. So it establishes the relationship between the word and its meaning, the similarity which you already know, helps you to understand the meaning of the word Gavaya. So that is the idea. So that is how the Nayayikas are defining this. Now this is not accepted by the Mimamsaka. So the Mimamsaka actually will define it, we also follow the same thing. Because there is one obvious problem in this is, there can be many things similar to the cow, correct? Even if you go to the forest, how do you know this one is really a Gavaya? So there is a problem there also. So it cannot be said that immediately I know that this is Gavaya. Of course, if you take it as a Shabda Jnanam, using Shabda you can give a Lakshana for something, and based on that Lakshana also you can come to know. But that we will see later. Right now we are actually discussing the Upamana. So here what we say is, that we will see it is written here, Tatahi. So Sadrishya Prakarana Upamanam we say. So the Upamana itself helps you to understand the Sadrishya, in our case, understand this. It is not, see, according to the Nayayika, the Upamana helps you to understand the relationship between a word and its meaning. Now, we don't say that. According to us, Upamana itself helps us to understand the similarity, or it helps us to understand the similarity between two things. So, Sadrishya pramaa, karanam, Upamanam for us. Of course, Upamanam also is a Sadrishya jnanam. So, according to us, one similarity, the knowledge of one similarity helps us to understand some other similarity. You understand? That is how it is defined by the Mimamsaka. And what is that? So here it is explained here. Pranjaneshu Krishna Gopindasya Purushasya Vanagatasya Gavendriya Sanikarshe Sati Bhavati Pratitihi Ayam Pindaha Gosadurushaha Iti. So, Pranganeshu means what? A Goshala, which is there. In those days, every house had a Goshala, correct? If you go behind the house, there will be a Goshala. That is what is called Pranganeshu here. And here, Krishna Gopindasya means what? So, you have seen cow in your own Goshala. So, such a Purusha, he has gone to the forest, correct? Vanagatasya Purushasya. And for him, what happens? Gavendriya Sanikarshe Sati. Now, this Gava comes into his pratiksha, correct? There is an Indriya Sanikarsha with the Gava. That means your senses are in contact with this animal Gava. So, that being the case, now what is this Pratiti, this Jnanam? Ayam Pindaha. This animal, okay, is similar to the cow which I have seen behind my house, correct? Now for this knowledge, nobody needs to have told him already that Gava is similar to cow and all that. Understand this. Already he knows what is a cow. This person goes to the forest and then sees an animal called Gava. And then he knows this Gava is similar to my cow. Because it has certain similarities, it looks like a cow, let us say. So that is the first knowledge. This is Pratyaksha Jnanam, understand this. Ayam Pindaha Gosadrushaha iti, when we say this knowledge, that this individual, this particular animal, which is Gavaya, is similar to my cow. This knowledge you gain by Pratyaksha itself. Then what happens? Parampara bhavati nistayaha anena sadrishi madhiya bhavu iti. So then afterwards, what knowledge you gain? My cow is similar to this Gavaya also. Again, it may be in the same respect or it can be in some other respect also. Here, my particular cow, understand that. This Gavaya may be having a black leg, which is similar to the leg of my own cow which I have behind my house. So here the Sadrishya Jnanam, one Sadrishya Jnanam leads to the another Sadrishya Jnanam. Is that clear? So one knowledge of similarity, first you say this Gavaya is similar to a cow, Gosadrishaha, and then based on that, you also have another knowledge that yes, my cow is similar to this, or this Gava is similar to my cow. Anena Sadrisha Madhiya Gavu. So my cow is also similar to this Gava in some respect. Understand that? Because always Sadrishyam means we have to also say which Amsha or which part is similar, or which parts are similar. There can be more than one Amsha also which are similar. So, the second Sadrishya Jnanam is born out of the first Sadrishya Jnanam. That's why we have defined it as Sadrishya Pramakaranam Upamanam. Is that clear? So, this is very different from what the Nayayika's understanding of Upamanam is. So, this is how the Mimamsakas define Upamanam. and we also accept that and follow that. So, tatra, there what? Anvaya Vitirekabhyam, Gavayanishta Gosadrishya Jnanam Karanam. So now we are even clearly explaining here, the Gavayanishta Gosadrishya Jnanam is the means, is the param, is the instrument. And how did we gain that? That knowledge we gained with Pratyaksha. That's what I said. So you went to the forest, you saw the Gavaya. And then you know that this Gavaya is similar to a cow. So Gavayanishta Gosadrishya Jnanam you gain by Pratyaksha itself. And that itself becomes a means or a karana to our Goyanishta Gavayasadrishya Jnanam. This is the phalam. So it becomes the means for understanding that my particular cow is similar to this Gavaya in some respect. And that similarity, that knowledge of that similarity is the phalam or is the, so this is the means, that is the result or end. So one knowledge of similarity becomes the end, becomes the means for another knowledge of similarity. So like this is how we understand Upamanam. Then, okay, there can be a question here. What is that? So the Purvavachi says, Nacha idam pratyakshena sambhavati. So Purvavachi can say, why can't that other similarity also be considered as coming from Pratyaksha? Because you say the first similarity knowledge is Gavayanishta Gosadrishya Jnanam is from Pratyaksha. Why can't the other Goyanishta Gavayasadrishya Jnanam also be from Pratyaksha? Means it is not possible because Gavaya is there right in front of your eyes. For Pratyaksha Jnanam, Indriyartha Sannigarsha is there, is required. Your goal is right now not in front of you. Goal does not have any Indriya Sannigarsha. So, the other knowledge we cannot say is from Pratyaksha. So, that is what is said here. Nacha idam pratyakshena sambhavati. Gopindasya tada Indriya asannikarsha. So, the go, the time with which you have compared this Gavaya and understood a certain similarity, that cow is right now not available to you because it is there in the city and now you are in the forest. Okay, so there is no Indriya Sannikarsa. So that similarity has come from Pratyaksha, you cannot say that. Okay, then what? Nati Anumanena. So what about that? Whether it can come from an Anumana? If you say even that, we cannot say that it has come from Anumana. Why? Because Gavayanishta Gosadrishyasya Atallingatva. Tallingatvam means what? Tat Lingatvam means. See, normally if you do an Anumana, what is required? The Hetu and the Sadhya have to be in the same Adhikarana, in the same place. You cannot see the smoke on the mountain and say fire is there in the house, correct? The Vyapti establishes one thing, wherever the Hetu is, there the Sadhya is there, correct? There is Samanadhikaranyam between the Hetu and the Sadhya. So wherever I see the smoke, there only I can do the inference that fire is there. I cannot infer fire somewhere else. I see the smoke in one place, I infer the fire in some other place, cannot be there, correct? So this is very important. So here, the Sadrishya Jnanam is there in the Gavaya. Whatever Pratyaksha Jnanam, the first similarity, the knowledge of similarity is Gavayanishta. With that you cannot do an Anumana on the go. Go is not somewhere else, correct? It is another Paksha. So using the Gavayanishta Sadrisha Jnana, you cannot do an Anumana on the cow. You can do, using the Gavayanishta Sadrisha Jnana, you can do some Anumanam on the Gavaya itself, because then you can say at least both are there in the same paksha, in the same place. So, Anumana also is not possible. Because for Anumana, the hetu and the sadhya have to be in the same paksha, have to be in the same location. There has to be a samanadikaranyam between the linga. Linga and hetu are same. Okay, linga is indication. Hetu also is whatever is the cause you see, correct? You have to have a cause to do your inference. So hetu and linga are all synonyms. So in this case, wherever you want to do Anumana, in that place there is no linga. That's why you see it is said Apalingatvat. So like this it is said. Then the Nayayikas are always too intelligent. Okay, they are too intelligent. So here they are using their over intelligence. So Nayayika comes and says, no, I can still do an Anumana. How? Okay, I agree that to do Anumana, the hetu and the sadhya have to be there in the same adhikarana. So here I will do a different kind of Anumana, he says. What? Madhya Gauru, Etat Gavaya Sadrishi. See, my cow is similar to this Gavaya. Fine. And what is the Anumana he is using? Etan Nishta Sadrishya Pratiyogitva. So he is now using Pratiyogitvam. See, whenever you do a comparison means two things have to be there. One thing they are comparing with reference to some other thing. So that other thing becomes a Pratiyogi then, correct? Like even for non-existence or Abhava, we said that Abhava Pratiyogi is important. You cannot just talk of Abhava. Abhava of what? That what is the Pratiyogi? Correct? Abhava with reference to something, correct? So that with reference to which object, that object is called a Pratiyogi technically. Similarly, even in comparison, you say Gavaya is similar with reference to what? Means cow. Now cow becomes a Sadrishya Pratiyogi. Is that clear? So with reference to
Pratiyogina.
The object with reference to which you are doing, you are understanding an abhava or even a comparison or a similarity, correct? That is the Pratiyogi. So if I say absence is there on the table, means what will be your question? Absence of what? Then you say absence of pot is not there on the table, you say. Now pot becomes the Pratiyogi for pot's absence. Is that clear? The absence of pots, when we talk about any absence, the Pratiyogi is important. So, you can't just talk about non-existence with reference to what? Similarly, in Sadhu, similarity also. One thing is there, Gavaya, it is similar to, means similar to what? Means we have to get out. When the cow becomes a Sadhusya Pratiyogi, that Pratiyogitva is there only in the cow, correct? So he is saying, I will now do a Anumana using Pratiyogitvam. Pratiyogitvam also is there in the cow. And using that Pratiyogitvam, now I will say the Sadrishya, the goal is similar to the Gavaya also, is that knowledge also, the Sadhya, is also in the go only. So there is no Apalingatvam. Whatever you said, that Ketu is there in Gavaya, the Sadhya cannot be there in Go. That is not true, because now I am using Pratiyogitvam as the Hetu, and Pratiyogitvam is in the same place, correct? As the Sadrishyatvam. So, there is no issue. So, Etan Nishta Sadrishya Pratiyogitvat, like that the Hetu is given. And he is now saying, that is Sadrishya Pratiyogi, Saha Tat Sadrishaha. So, this is a very generic statement. This is the Vyapti is given. So, that's something like Go, and in which what? There is a Sadrishya Pratiyogitva with reference to something else, then that thing is similar to that other thing. That's what I said here. It is very difficult in English to say that. So, you know, one better Sadrishya Pratiyogi, Saha Tat Sadrishaha. means here you have the yo and tattana, if we substitute, then it will become easier for you. So when we say yaha here, that we have to understand as the cow. Okay, cow. And in the cow, what is there? Yadgata means in the cow, there is a sadrisha pratyogitvam is there. With reference to what? With reference to the Gaya. Correct? So Gaya sadrisha pratyogitvam is there in the cow. And if that pratyogitvam is there in the cow, with that what we can establish? That cow is similar to the Gavaya. Tat sadrishaha. Saha goho or gohu. Gavaya sadrishaha. Tat sadrishaha means Gavaya sadrishaha. Because it has the Gavaya sadrisha pratyogitvam. So yadgata is Gavaya gata sadrisha pratyogitvam. Yaha is cow. Yadgata means Gavaya gata sadrisha pratyogi. So the cow is Gavaya gata sadrisha pratyogi. And therefore the cow is Gavaya sadrishaha. Like that you understand the sentence. That's what is given, explained also. Yata maitra nishta sadrisha pratyogi. Maitra sadrishaha. So now Maitra and Chaitra, two people are there. They are similar. So Maitra nishta sadrisha pratyogi. Chaitra is Maitra nishta sadrisha pratyogi. And therefore Chaitra is similar to Maitra. Maitra sadrishaha. Like this we can do an Anumana. So like this he says, the Nahya is iti Anumana. Tat sambhavaha iti vatsyam. He says it is sambhavaha, but we say na vatsyam. Even if you say such an anumana is possible, we do not accept that. Okay? Na vatsyam. The na is there at the beginning. Okay, so don't forget that. Na api, it starts like that. So even this you cannot say, like that we are saying. This kind of an anumana is possible, like that also you cannot say. Why? Because in real life, nobody does such complicated anumana. Understand that. Evam vida anumana anavatarati. So here avatara means, doing that anumana is called avatara. So the word avatara has many meanings depending on the context. So evam vida anumana anavatarati. So without doing such an anumana also, most people understand that anena sadrishi nadiya gavu. So my cow is similar to this Gavaya, this knowledge is there with people without doing all this complicated anumana. So you cannot say that always this knowledge only comes by doing such a complicated anumana. So that is a simple argument we are making. Of course, such an anumana may be possible, but that doesn't really explain how this knowledge takes place. Because this knowledge anyway takes place, even without using such anumana. So you cannot say that that knowledge, that anumana alone will be the cause or means for gaining this knowledge. That my cow is similar to this Gavaya. So we cannot accept your argument. That is the idea here. Okay. So evam vida anumana anavatare api anena sadrishi madiya gautu iti pratitehe anubhava siddhatva. So this pratiti is there in my experience, correct? It is there. I go to the forest. I already know a cow. Now I see another animal called Gavaya, which is similar to the cow. So that similarity, the first similarity, I see by Pratyaksha itself. Then another similarity also strikes. What is that? My cow is similar to this Gavaya in some respect. It can be even the type of the color of the animal or some other body part is similar and all that. So the second similarity can be something very specific. It can be to a particular part alone. Understand that. So you cannot even, that's why you cannot use a generic Anumana also there. The second similarity knowledge is based on the first Pratyaksha. Okay, the first similarity knowledge which itself is based on Pratyaksha, correct? So one similarity knowledge leads to another similarity knowledge, and the first similarity knowledge is called Upamana. The second similarity knowledge is the Upamiti. So even we can say that Upamiti Karanam Upamanam, but in our case, Upamana, the first Upamana is Pratyaksha, okay, Pratyaksha Janyam. The second Upamiti is Upamana Janyam, correct? Because Upamana itself becomes a Karana for the Upamiti that my cow is similar to this Kavaya. It cannot be explained by Pratyaksha or Anumana or any other pramana. So we have to accept a new pramana called Upamana. So that is the idea. But the Nayayika, what do they say? They say that you are in the city, you know the cow. This much it is same. Then somebody in the city has to have told you already that there is a wild animal in the forest which is similar to the cow. So, in the Nayayika explanation, you already have this knowledge of similarity when you leave from the city. Then you go there and see an animal, wild animal, which is similar to the cow, and using that original knowledge of similarity, now you understand the meaning of the word Bhavaya, this particular animal, this particular thing. So for them, the first similarity knowledge leads to the knowledge or the knowledge of the connection between the word Gavaya and the actual Gavaya animal, which is the Artha, correct? Or Samnya Samnyi, they say. Samnya means a name or a word, and Samnyi means the one which has that name, correct? The object. So Shabda and Artha. So the meaning and the word, the connection between the word and the meaning, to arrive at that, the similarity, the knowledge of the similarity which you already gained can be used as what their argument is. But we do not accept that. According to us, Upamana is, you go to the forest, you already know what is a cow. Then you see with Pratyaksha there is a wild animal called Gavaya, and then you get this Sadrisha Jnanam that this Gavaya is similar to cow, or similar to a cow. That can be any cow. That is the first Sadrisha Jnanam. That is Upamanam. Using that Sadrisha Jnanam now, you gain another Sadrisha Jnanam, which is Upamiti, that my cow, Madiya Gauhu, Anena Sadrishi. My cow is similar to this Gavaya in some respect. So the first similarity, or the first knowledge of similarity, leads to the second knowledge of similarity. The first knowledge of similarity is Upamanam, that becomes the Karanam for the second knowledge of similarity, which is the Phala, correct, which is the result. So that way, our understanding of Upamana and Upamiti are different from what the Nayayika says. As I told you already, we follow the Mimamsakas here. The Mimamsakas have described the Upamana pramana like this only, and so we follow the same thing here. So, Upamanani iti Anuvyavasayat. Okay, so the other thing is that, see, one you said that even without using that complicated Anumana, we can arrive at the knowledge of similarity. And also, what is our experience? How do we actually understand this knowledge? I don't say Anumana, right? If I do an Anumana, The anuvyavasaya means what? The knowledge of the knowledge. You know something and then you can say, I infer that, correct? See, I know fire is there. I see the smoke. I know there is fire. Then what will you say? I infer the fire, correct? That is anuvyavasaya. So after you know the fire by inference, you can say, I infer the fire. So there we say anubhava in Sanskrit, correct? Similarly here, I see the gavaya, then I know that it is similar to a cow. Then also I have this knowledge that my cow is now similar to this gavaya in some respect. And then how do I talk about that knowledge? I say, I now know this using comparison, correct? I am comparing, I am not inferring here, correct? The knowledge of similarity is born out of comparison, because it is not born out of any inference. So, Upamana is anuvyavasaya. The anuvyavasaya here is upaminomi, not anuminomi. So, this also is another reason. So, anuvyavasayat, like that 50 cases. So, this is another reason why we say that Upamana is a separate pramanam. It cannot be explained either by pratyaksha or anumana. The second knowledge of similarity is born out of the first knowledge of similarity. And so we take that as a separate pramana. So tasmat upamanam manantaram. So therefore upamana has to be considered as a one more pramana. It doesn't fall under any. We have already discussed pratyaksha and anumana. But upamana is a separate means of knowledge by itself. So this knowledge does not fall under any other category or any other type of means of knowledge. We have to consider it as it is. So with this the Upamana Paricheda is over. So this is a small thing only because generally not much discussion is there in this. Next we will take up Shabda Pramana. Okay. So that there is a lot of discussion because Shabda Pramana is the main thing for the Vedanta. Understand that. Because first Veda is the Pramana and Veda is the one which is revealing our true nature. Shastra Darpanam we say. So it is like a mirror. The subject cannot know itself as an object, correct? See, everything else I can objectify and know. But I am the subject. How do I know myself? That is why this Atma Jnanam is so subtle. In one way it is very simple, but in one way it is very difficult or subtle also. That is because our tendency is to objectify and know everything. Correct? That is why we have known everything. Even black hole and things like that, which are not available for your pratiksha, even that as a concept or something, we objectify it in our mind and then know. So everything, all the knowledge, all the scientific knowledge, any other knowledge, everything is due to objectification only. But I cannot objectify myself, understand this. I am always the eternal subject. I am the witness. In every cognition, my existence is already implied. I am the pramata. I am the knower. Without knower, there is no question of who will handle the means of knowledge, who will know something is there. So knower is self-existent and self-conscious Chaitanyam. Knower is this self-aware and self-existent consciousness. That knower need not be established by any pramana. Understand that. The existence of myself, I don't have to know by operating any means of knowledge. I am is a given. But still what is not known is my true nature. I am Brahman is not known. Understand that. Even Shruti is not required to establish I am. I am is Swatasiddha. It is self-revealing and self-existent consciousness. For that, you don't require the Shruti to come and establish you. Even to use the Shruti, you have to be there. But Shruti is the mirror which shows me my real nature. Like if you, the eye can see everything. Eye cannot see itself, correct? Eye hearing E-Y-E-I, understand that. If you want to see the eye, what do you do? You have to go and stand in front of a mirror. There you cannot say, why don't you turn your eye like this and see itself and all that, correct? If you want to see your eye, why are you looking outside? Some people will come and confuse you like that, correct? If you want to know the Atma, why are you looking outside in the book? Like that people are arguing. They are confused. Okay? If you want to see your eyes, you have to still look outside only, correct? But you are looking into the mirror. That is the important thing. Similarly, when we study the Shastra, the words of the Shastra are nothing but a mirror. That's why it is called Shastra Darpanam. And what is it showing? It is showing you your true nature. It is revealing to you who you are. It is getting rid of all your wrong notions about yourself, because the entire Samsaratvam is nothing but dawn of avidya. That avidya has to go, all the wrong notions have to go. Then Atma is there as it is. So that is understood only through Shabda Pramana, and we will look at the Shabda Pramana in more detail in the coming classes. Many classes will be there on Shabda Pramana. We will look into that. Okay? Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.